Hi, friends. It's Miss S. I hope you're having a great week. I have a friend back here being a little noisy. Quiet, please. We're learning. I hope that you're having a great week, and we are ready to start our last chapter book of this school year. And I thought it would be nice to finish up with Mercy Watson since everybody seemed like they were enjoying that book. So our book that we're going to start today is Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. Let me share my screen with you. And get on the right screen here. Okay, so Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. That's what we're going to read. And what we're also going to do today is read a nonfiction short book, just a little one, about pigs, and then have a conversation and do some questions about fiction versus nonfiction. So we know that Mercy Watson is a fiction book. We've been reading it long enough that we know it's pretend, right? It's a pretend book in a series, which means even though there are many different books, they all deal with the same characters. And our main character is Mercy Watson. So we'll see what kind of adventure she gets up to today. Again, this is our fiction book, so try to keep that in mind because we're going to talk about fiction and nonfiction and do some questions after we read. Chapter 1. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson makes a special lunch. Time for our little Saturday something, Mrs. Watson says. You've outdone yourself, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson says. Oink, says Mercy. Every Saturday after lunch, Mr. Watson goes outside. Mercy follows him. They stand in the driveway, and together they admire Mr. Watson's convertible. Are you ready? Asks Mr. Watson. Oink, says Mercy. Mr. Watson opens the passenger door. Mercy hops into the car. She sits behind the wheel. She snuffles contentedly. Chapter 2. Hey, says Mr. Watson every Saturday. You, my dear, are a porcine wonder, but even porcine wonders cannot drive cars. Mr. Watson gently pushes Mercy toward the passenger seat, but Mercy does not move. She does not want to sit in the passenger seat. Mercy wants to drive. Says Mr. Watson again. He pushes her less gently. Scoot over, my dear. Mercy does not move. Help me, Mr. Watson calls out. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson steps outside. Darling, says Mrs. Watson, if you let Mr. Watson drive, I'll make you an extra helping of hot buttered toast. I will have it waiting for you when you get back home. Mercy narrows her eyes. She loves hot buttered toast. She also loves extra helpings. Slowly, very slowly, she moves to the passenger side. What a dear, says Miss Watson as she claps her hands. You are such a good sport, my darling. Yes, says Mr. Watson, she most certainly is. He gets in the car and sits behind the wheel. He turns the key in the ignition. The Watson convertible rumbles to life. Mr. Watson calls, Bon voyage, my dears. When you get home, we will have hot buttered toast. Goodbye, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson shouts. Lola. Sorry, friends. He backs the car out of the driveway very quickly. He does not look behind him. Mr. Watson is a forward-looking man. He does not believe in looking back. Oink, says Mercy, already having a good time. And we're off, says Mr. Watson. We're off on an adventure. Chapter 4. Eugenia Lincoln and baby Lincoln live next door to the Watsons. Every Saturday, the Lincoln sisters watch Mercy and Mr. Watson back out of the driveway. Every Saturday, Eugenia is displeased. Mr. Watson is a very bad driver, she says. He is a menace behind the wheel. Yes, sister, says baby. Furthermore, says Eugenia, it is my firm opinion that pigs should not be taken for rides in automobiles. particularly that pig. That pig is a sly pig. I do not trust her. No, sister, says Baby. Baby looks down the road. The car has disappeared. Mr. Watson and Mercy are gone. Folly, says Eugenia Lincoln as she shakes her fist. It is folly, I say. Yes, sister, says Baby. But Baby Lincoln thinks that a little folly wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, we're going to stop there. We'll pick up with chapter 5 next time. And what we're going to do next is read this nonfiction book about pigs. So the book that we just read was fiction. That means it's fake or pretend. Mercy Watson is a pretend story. Pigs by Cynthia Armoso and Bob Noyad is a nonfiction book about pigs. That means it's real. It's not fake. Oink, snort, squeal. What animals make these sounds? Pigs make these sounds. It says, did you know a group of pigs is called a herd? Thick bodies. Pigs have thick bodies. They have 4 short legs and a curly tail. Pigs have 4 toes. They walk on their tiptoes. Look at the picture here. You can see the little pig's toes. Pigs can be many colors. Some are pink or brown. Others are black and white. Pigs are covered with coarse hair. And it says over here, did you know pigs cannot sweat? They often roll in the mud to keep cool. It's pretty interesting. Round snouts. Pigs have a round nose called a snout. They use it to smell and feel around. Pigs have a great sense of smell. It says, did you know pigs can even smell things that are underground? It's pretty interesting. Look at his snout there. We've talked about that before with Miss C during speech, that we call the nose and mouth area of some animals a snout. It says, did you know pigs have 44 teeth? That's a lot. Males and females. A male pig is called a boar. A female pig is called a sow. Baby pigs. Now look at the little babies. Baby pigs are called piglets. A sow can have 8 to 12 piglets at a time. Piglets drink their mother's milk. Did you know newborn piglets weigh about 2.5 pounds? Much smaller than a human baby. Eating. Farm pigs eat corn, oats, and other grains. Pigs will eat almost anything. It says pigs also eat fruits, bugs, flowers, and grasses. Most pigs are raised for meat. This meat is called pork. Pigs are also raised for their skin. It is made into leather. Footballs, belts, and gloves are made from pig skin. So we've talked about this before, that certain types of food come from animals. And it might make some of us feel kind of sad, but we're in middle school, so we can understand that, right? So meats like pork, ham, bacon, those come from pigs. So some people eat pigs, some people do not eat pigs, right? It's a decision for every person and every family. And sometimes they use the skin part of a pig for different things. They said like footballs, belts, and gloves. Most footballs anymore aren't really made from pigs. A lot of them are like plastic. But a lot of times things like belts and shoes might have leather. Pigs are smart animals. They can learn tricks. Some people have pigs as pets. Would you like a pig as a pet? So did you know pot-bellied pigs are often kept as pets? We have a neighbor down the street, at the end of our street, not on our street, but she has a pet pig. We saw her out walking her pig one day. It was a big pot-bellied pig. It was black. She had it on a leash. Okay, so that's our nonfiction book there. So we have 2 pictures here. We have a picture of Mercy Watson on this side that says fiction. Fiction means fake. It's a pretend story. We also have nonfiction on this side, our cute little pig here, which means not fake. It's real. It's a real story. So I'm going to tell you something that was from one of the books, and you're going to think about if it's fiction or if it's nonfiction. You can point to your screen or you could say it out loud, whatever you prefer. I'm going to point when we talk about it so that you know for sure what I'm talking about. Okay, so a pig who eats buttered toast. Was that from fiction or was that from nonfiction? That was from fiction, right? That's from our Mercy Watson books. Now, even though it was from our fiction book, they did tell us pigs like to eat all kinds of different things. So maybe a real pig would like that too. But having a favorite food of buttered toast is from Mercy Watson. That's our fiction. Baby pigs are called piglets. Was that from Mercy Watson, our fiction? Or was that from our pigs nonfiction? Baby pigs are called piglets. If you said or pointed to nonfiction with the pig, you are right. That is from our nonfiction book. Baby pigs are called piglets. Female pigs, that means girls, are called sows. Female pigs are called sows. Was that from our fiction book over here, Mercy Watson, or was that from our nonfiction book over here called Pigs? Female pigs are called sows. That's from our nonfiction, our pretend nonfiction, or our real, I'm sorry, our not fake nonfiction. Female pigs are called sows. That is true. It's from our nonfiction book. A pig who wants to drive a car. Is that from our fiction or our nonfiction? A pig who wants to drive a car. That's from over here, right? Our fiction story. That's what's happening in Mercy Watson this time. That's pretend, a pig wanting to drive a car. Okay, friends. I hope that you got some of those right, that you were able to remember which things came from our fiction and which one came from our nonfiction. We'll do this again next time. We'll read another book about pigs, real pigs, a nonfiction book, or do a video or something, and then we'll read the next chapters of Mercy Watson to find out what happens next. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I miss you so much. Feel free, if you have missed some of the other videos I shared, or maybe you didn't see all of the books that we read, that you've only done some of them, to go back and watch. I made them all public. So if you click on my channel, you should be able to click on a list of videos and you'll be able to find there all the different books we read. So if there was a book you really liked, you could listen to it again this summer too. You also have this week a math video coming up, so you can enjoy that too. And it has to do with food, so you guys better tune in. Have a great day, friends. I miss you so, so much. Bye.